Retention by design, turning AI, data, and loyalty into lasting player value.
So we're speaking now about how to use data actually for machine learning purposes and to train AI, especially for data for customer retentions. I welcome three panelists today at our panel. The first one is Stanisław Szostak, co-founder of Astral Forest. Then is the co-founder and Astral Forest is a consultancy agency specializing in analytics, governance, data and AI for the gaming industry. Then Alena Tsuranova, she's the CCO of Megafair. She's building at the moment a business unit with her experience in business development and the sales strategy. Megafair is a pioneer in games provider in still and RNG games. And Mohammed, OpenText Senior Team Leader at TeKnowledge, and he is bridging artificial intelligence with CRM platforms. So welcome to the panel. All the gaming companies, they have a large amount of data which is available in CRM systems and with transactions, in transaction monitoring systems, payment transactions, gaming transactions, and KYC information. And most of the data at the moment is not probably used for data retention. And there's a fantastic new approach now to use AI that these data can be integrated into data retention and in other services. So I would like to ask the whole panel, how are you using data at the moment, or where do you see the usage of data for data retention and the training of AI with gambling companies, or the case of Alena within Megafair as a games provider?
Hi everyone. Well, for us, data is still quite a painful question because as a game provider, you understand we are B2B2C business, which means that we are not actually interacting with our final customer. We are trying to understand our customer through a mediator, which is usually an aggregator and a casino or a casino directly. And only after we get to interact with the player. And basically the data that we're getting from the players is not that much, which makes development of games quite a complicated task. That's why with time, with the development of AI and different tools, we're trying to get as much data as possible. And this is how we trying to build and develop our product. Because we develop games every day. And the market demands from us not just to launch games, but to launch good games. What is a good game? This is the question that we're trying to find the answer to. And with the help of different external AI tools, we're trying to get some new solutions to the market.
And as a still games and RNG games provider, are you using your experience in still games also to develop new games with a new approach based on RNGs?
Absolutely. Initially, skill games came from a social background. Basically, what we did, iGaming is full of slots, right? Maybe thousands and thousands. But to make the product a little bit more interesting, more to increase the retention, we need to look into other spheres, and that's what we did. We analyzed what is popular in social gaming, what is popular in classic gaming, and we took this, for example, classic UX for PvP tournaments, and introduced it in iGaming. This is quite a niche product on the market. It's quite unique. It's still just starting to be more and more popular. But that's how we managed to bring to our industry something new, something fresh, which has never been on the market before.
Thank you. So Stan, where is the data? What can we do with it? And how can we use it to train AIs to have a better customer relation management?
Thank you, Jochen, for this question. Actually, I'm really happy to be here in this panel because data and analytics, this is everything that I'm doing for the last 15 years. And when it comes to how we can leverage data for the sake of training of the AI models and way beyond that, everything which is actually related to decision making in the business. If you take a look at what different departments across the companies that are operating in the iGaming you will have, it will be, say, marketing. I think the most important, where everything is data driven in the online world, where you can leverage the data and then build models on top of the data to predict who's gonna leave, who's gonna stay, who's the most valuable, who's the least valuable, who's the bonus hunter, whom you should actually take a better care of in terms of the players. That's one side of the things. Then you have the ones which is more in the backstage, I would say. So even customer service, responsible gaming, compliance, all of them need the right data, whether be it to respond to the regulator, be it to lead the business in a sustainable way. And you'll have multiple items to it, because on one side you have the items that are related to the reporting, where you need to make the day-to-day decisions, if this is, for example, the right campaign to run, if this should be targeted at that specific audience group. Aren't we overpaying for our marketing? Or maybe we should allocate the budgets completely differently. These are all things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and if you have the right data and the right decisions can be made. So this is all, I would say, connected, and especially when I intervene, I am in the second line, not in the front line, helping the brain to take the right decisions for operators, for the platform providers, for game providers as well. That's more or less to summarize it.
Thank you, Stan. Mohammed, we have seen here, this is quite new at Sigma, a lot of stands which were offering AI agents to automate support. How would you think that we can go maybe one step ahead, and we can predict and prevent player churn with the usage of AI?
Yes, thanks to be here and to come here and to speak about this one, because this part mainly is one of the consultation firms that I set up for myself and for other people, that we want to focus on different markets related to how gaming industry looking for the players and the profit of the players, and how we can manage to know what is happening really in the background. So without AI, it's very hard to know what is the frustration, why this player doesn't want to subscribe again, what is happening, you know. And using AI agents that we want to develop to gaming industry, that we can see from our side what will be happen when the player is frustrated or he want to left the game, and we want to get this information to the support point. I can see here from when I was looking here, I saw one of the surveys that about the support, And I feel it's low support that some companies do it because they're focusing not on support. As the support is how I play it. Another point that we want to go is that the gaming is not only for adults, right? It can be for kids and for grandfather and grandmother. So it's not just for a specific range of people. So we want to involving all these ages, right? And at the same time, we want to be ensured that if my son wants to play a game, how can I know his age? And we return back to the compliance and security that we want the gaming to be happen. So from AI, we can have some intelligent things that we can know that the age, right? We can know who is entering and playing the game. And in this way, we are giving enriched information to the game operator, who is your customer. The same like the banks, right? The games, anyone, when we go here and asking, do you know your customer? He will say, no, I don't know your customers. I don't know who is playing. No, we need to change this one. You need to know your players.
And to understand what the demand is of the players, for that you are using AI. What exactly would be the data points you would use to detect this kind of behavior?
Yeah, I think this is one of the challenging that to know which data, right, that I want to get from different regions, from different, let's say like in Europe more for GDPR, right, which data I need to provide. I think one of the things very, very important that I don't see it in gaming industry in general, that involve data protection guys, right, who are have the knowledge, right, with the technologies people, right, that have this mentality, and to do a cooperation between them. How we can go, right, and how we can protecting the data, both sides. This is, I don't see it too much here. I don't see, when I look into any profile of any companies, I don't see that they have data protection officer for gaming industry. And this is something that we need to change. We need to involve in data protection. We need to know where is the compliance of the data will go, where the data will be stored. This is another point, because for AI, I don't know where is the data store. So you will tell me, okay, I get this information. So I think it's type of cooperation between compliance and HR, which is data protection guys, and the technology guys who have this mentality that they want to change this concept, yes.
So Stan, in your consultancy firm, when you are starting with a project, how do you understand where the data is with the client? Does the client know where the data is, or is it something where you start with research where data is and how data can be used?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the first point where you should be looking for the data. This will always be the transactional systems, the backend, the back office tools, because at the end of the day, this is where the money is. You see what is happening, you have the flows, you have the different bets, you see the gaming activity, you see the deposits, the withdrawals, so you see the cash flow, you see the dynamics, you see what's happening. Later, you enrich that with whatever you know about the behavior, meaning because when you were actually mentioning all the different sources and systems, there was one more that I would like to add on top of that, is the website tracking, because this is really the apple of the eye for many people, where you can literally see the funnel. I mean, you see the hundreds of thousands of people who just connect, they bounce, they never return, and then stage by stage, here you need some good actually connectivity and a good way to configure to be able to track accurately what is happening on each level. If you add these two to start, this is massive, because these are usually located in different systems that do not talk to each other, governed by different teams. Let's say website tracking data is in the product team, transactional is in the analytical team. Many times you'll see organizations where these two, even if they're sitting on the same floor, they don't talk to each other. Whenever you start building your one source of truth, where you gather the website data, the transactional data, you gather the information from customer service. Maybe that person got some withdrawal rejected. Maybe that's why they're leaving, and not because they played a game of fruits or ancient Rome, let's say. So these are all aspects where you can have this 360-degree image, where you take whatever you can, be it also in a form of a table with data, just like from a database, but also everything else that 10 years ago you would not collect, but today you can. Transcriptions, if they are calling you on your landline, to the customer service, any interactions with the responsible gaming team where you will see how they responded to the questionnaires, what was the feedback, and so on and so forth. So whatever you can, just leverage that, because that's going to be your weapon.
Thank you, Stan. Let's speak about the human in the loop and data labeling through experts. You just touched this topic, that there are so many data available, but just having data does not mean that an AI can make sense out of the data. And you see this also that Meta, for example, they engaged now 150 investment bankers to assess the information which is available about investment and stock listed companies. We have data labeling experts in most or in all of the gaming companies. These are the MROs or experts in transaction monitoring. And for now, the decisions about the transactions, very often the investment is lost after decision is taken. If, for example, an RG case needs to be escalated or a suspicious transaction report needs to be sent to the FIU. But there is a chance now that this information can be stored together with the transaction to create training data for AI. So the human in the loop, the experts' information, which is at the moment in the brains of the experts, if this can be connected to the transaction data, then finally you would have a solution which could be almost as good as a human being. So, but still, when it comes to data retention, to responsible gambling, and also to other compliance areas like AML, the experience of the experts is still needed. So, what would be your approach about the human in the loop? And do you think that one day the AI can be as good as someone with maybe decades of experience?
For us, definitely AI is still not a full substitution to the whole process of game development, meaning that the fully AI-built game is not a good game, unfortunately. The AI can still not substitute a good designer or a good sound designer or animation and stuff. It is a big help for us, definitely, and probably since that time you've seen on the market a huge boom of launching new games every week or even more often, which I don't think market even needs, but it allowed the studios to produce more and more content and push themselves through different channels in the lobbies and different tabs. But still, we cannot say that AI designed slot is something valuable on the market. It does help. I hope at some point it can make slot development even cheaper, but I think the players are not really dumb. They feel this human touch and human approach, and for now this is definitely not the final solution.
Thank you. Stan, what is your view to it? How important is the human in the loop, and will there be a future maybe in the next couple of years where no humans will be used anymore because the AI is evolving to a status that is as good as the best experts in the world?
Yes. So one item, just referring back to the question you mentioned one step before, when you were saying about the knowledge which is in the brain of the experts and how we can pour that knowledge into the models. So today you will see that there's 3 components that you need for the success of AI automation and increasing the productivity of your teams. So one is, if we go with LLM models, you need an LLM and everyone can have it. You just go to the cloud provider website, you put your credit card details. 5 minutes later, you can use it. Everyone can use it. So this is not a competitive advantage. The next 2 are related to the competitive advantage. Out of these 2, so the number 2, this was the data. Also, again, everybody has data, but how you use it is the factor number 3. So this is the know-how. Not everybody has the know-how, how to use the data, how to use the LLM. So that's going to be the advantage. Now, you can pour the knowledge, any metadata, any knowledge base, documentation, emails, conference pages, whatever you name it, into what we call a vector database. And this kind of vector databases serve as the brain for the LLM and the instruction. So you take an LLM that you grab on the street, you just added the credit card, just like everyone has, but that information that you will teach him, which you extract from your systems, this is going to be the secret sauce. Then the LLM, which is equipped with the right tools, with that secret sauce, will know how to find the right information in your organization and will respond with the right answers to your questions whenever you need. So this is one very specific way of going forward. Of course, you will need the experts because they will need to maintain, to update, to provide more new information, more context to the language models. But the language model becomes a commodity. You buy one, you replace it when it's obsolete, you take a newer one. Every week there's a new LLM. Every week there's a new top number 1, top number 2. So this you should treat as a replaceable part. The knowledge in your organization and the knowledge of your data, this is what makes the difference.
Quick question to you, Mohammed.
Yeah, I will end because we have 2 minutes. I saw some questions.
Definitely questions. Very good.
Just one point to add here, that when we're speaking about AI, we are not speaking about free models. You can, using your private models, you can keep your data very secure in your environment, in your cloud environment. No one know about your data. Don't think that we speak about ChatGPT and no, when we speak about this one, we speak about very private and security AI cloud solution, okay? Just to clarify this.
Thank you. So we have only 1 minute left. Maybe I can answer the question from Martin and Marina. Because this is compliance related. So you're totally right. GDPR, this is one of the very important compliance topics. Actually, when we do risk assessment after the EU AI Act, because this would be primary regulation for usage of AI, we very often see no conflicts with the EU AI Act, but we see GDPR issues. So for some areas like AML, you can use whatever data you want, but if you start profiling players with an AI, and it starts to harm players, that you are using it against the player, that would be a violation of the high-risk processing of the EU AI Act. And the last question, this you can see already, maybe Stanley can answer, you see it already with the LLMs, that with a little flooding of LLMs, you can change the answer. Maybe Stanley, do you have any insights about this, that little changes of data being used or being provided to LLMs can change their answers?
Frankly speaking, not at all. Remember how much data is being gathered by the mobile carrier and the manufacturers of your cell phones. It's not only the position, it's how it's tilted, it's the data from your both cameras. Come on, whatever is gathered by the operators, game providers, is nothing compared to it. It's maybe just a fraction. So I'm not afraid about that at all. Guys?
Last minutes that loyalty programs is very important for gaming because you need to know who is the real player you're playing with. And without AI, without the data, without analyzing who is playing every day, who is playing every week, like my son playing every day, but you cannot know. So it's very important to AI to putting as loyalty program. There is no risk. I don't think so. There is no risk will be happen to get the data if it's secured and in your cloud or in your data center. So just want to know your player. Unless that you spend days and days to know your player, AI can help you in a couple of hours. You can know who is your best players and who you want to rewarding them.
Also here, have a look at data security, ISO 5701, EU AI Act, and GDPR. Thank you very much to the panel. Thank you, great panel, and thank you all for being here.